Okay, quick little video for you guys, because I didn't know really what to expect with Prague, to be honest. So, first off, Prague has a new city and an old city, and this is the old city. And they've got just stalls with all sorts of cool knickknacks. They've got this beautiful church right here that is gorgeous architecture. Um, Everything here in the old city, of course, they have a few cars, but beyond that, everyone walks, which I really like. But the architecture is fantastic. Got street performers, people doing tours everywhere, and one of the coolest things that I like, other than this public square, is the freaking well, it's a church, but it looks like a castle. I mean, let's be honest, look at that thing. And then all the little shops and everything selling food. The cool one that's like killing me a little bit is that there's this guy just roasting meat and it smells so good. Like, I'm dying inside a little bit. And then they've got this other huge clock tower. And then there's another clock tower around here that does it based on years and astrology and stuff like that, but it's under like reconstruction right now, so you can't really see it. And then you've got horse and carriages, tons of people, and then street performers all over the place. Which, let me get a little bit closer because I don't know if you can see that, but a guy is just sending up bubbles in the background, which is cool. On top of cool, there's a guy in a panda suit. Huge panda suit. There's another one in a polar bear suit elsewhere. And then, yeah, look at it. This guy is just sending crazy amounts of bubbles. Guy had a freaking like turkey leg. I want one. And the architecture is gorgeous all across the board. So I know I've raved about a couple cities and everything. Bubbles! And architecture in the background, it looks beautiful. Bubbles. So I've raved about a couple cities. Bubbles. But Prague is one of the more interesting ones because it's way more... Hey, I don't even know how to phrase this. In Russian, it is like, it feels the most понятно. It feels the most understandable. Like, this city, it has its old side and everything, but they've capitalized on the old side. They've put up restaurants in the older buildings. They've kept everything sparkling clean. Save for the ground a little bit, but you know, that's to be expected when you get tourism and everything. But, wind. Oh, wind, no! But it's so remarkably clean pretty much everywhere you go in Prague. To an extent. I mean, if you go way out to the city limits, of course, it's gonna get all down and dirty. But other than that, it is remarkably clean. This place is also fantastic for shopping. I'm gonna actually head this direction. Great for shopping because here they don't use euros, they use crowns, korona, and it's about 20, currently it's like 25 crowns to a dollar, to a US dollar, and that's pretty good. For us at least, because when I go in exchange I get a lot of money, and things here for like a slice of pizza, it's only like, what, 30 crowns, so like a dollar, which, you know, might seem pretty comparable, but to the other cities I've been to, they usually would charge a lot more than that. And then here, they've got in all these old buildings at the ground level, they have all these amazing shops, everything from Omega to Azra, Cartier. I've seen Prada, I've seen Hugo Boss. They have H&Ms all over the place. They have McDonald's and KFC every, what, 3 blocks. And while you're getting all that new aspect of the world and of life, getting McDonald's and everything, you still have a huge diversity of restaurants. That was one thing that kind of got me down about other cities. Oh, that is so cool. About other cities is that they didn't always have a variety of food. They always had a lot of, like, for London, and for example, they either had super expensive restaurants that couldn't afford to go to, but they had McDonald's, which was also, it was like medium priced, and then you had a bunch of like stand-in restaurants where you could get a kebab or get Thai food or something, or like the low cheap restaurants. And that was about it. Like, that was the diversity that I saw in my time all across there. I mean, they're really, I don't know. And I know I didn't see everything, but when you're looking for food and you just see the same repeats over and over and you want something different, you don't know what to do. That's cool. That's just so cool. But here you've got kids, you've got young adults, you've got old cars parked next to new cars. You've got really nice people. And in here in Prague, it's remarkable. More people in the last day or two have spoken English to me than any other language. And let me rephrase. They've spoken English in general, not specifically to me, but in general, than like any other language that I've heard. As in more than Russian, more than, I'm trying to think of what's nearby, more than German, more than Austrian, more than Hungarian, well, of course, more than Hungarian, let's be honest here. But it's been interesting, just because I didn't expect to get that much English this far out from an English country. Like, and it's quite a bit. Which is, I mean, I just think that's really kind of cool, and they all are very good about their accents. Like, they don't particularly sound like foreigners, to be honest. Even though this is a foreign country to the English language. And so it's very, very surprising, and they're just very good at what they do. Very, very good. And again, everything is so, so clean. Yep, I'm passing a Prada store over here, and a few others. If there are signs with lights for like crossing, like if there's a red light and it says don't cross, people don't. They wait. They legitimately wait. Say for like one person who's maybe in a rush or something, they wait. There are trash cans everywhere, so they keep things clean. The architecture is just so beautiful. You can see all of that. Prague is amazing. Prague has felt like a breath of fresh air in my time on this trip. And again, I know I've raved about quite a few places, but Prague feels the most like home. It feels the most like Salt Lake City, actually, out of any place that I've been to. It's the most understandable place, and I really, really appreciate that as someone who's struggled to get around a bit. And it's also funny when in the metros and when in the train stations and everything, they have their announcements and everything's in the first prime language, which I never pay attention to, so I don't actually know what language it is that they usually put the first message in. But then the second message is always in English, and the English, it's with an American accent. Everywhere else, it's always been a British accent, but in here, it's a very, very clear and obvious American accent, and it's just kind of weird that I can listen to it, and I like that, and the voice is very, very clear, which I appreciate, because in a lot of places the announcement's like kind of muffled or like But here it's very, very clear, very cheesy, very just like straightforward, which is fantastic. I am also lost. I have no idea where I am right now. The other thing that I am desperately trying to do while I'm here, and I'm just going to mention it really fast because I've already gone to a 10-minute video, and I'm back to making videos for me and not for people's entertainment. If people want to subscribe, great. But I realize the more that I try to make it my goal to have people subscribe, the less fun I have. Wind, So this is really just for my own personal memories in the distant future when I watch this. But right. One of the big things I'm trying to do here while I do here is I was in a little market store. So much wind. And curse you, wind. Whoa. 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 That's a thing. I'm in a very expensive part of town right now. Right, so my goal right now is to find seasoning. There's a brand of seasoning called Maggi, and they do a seasoning for a dish called plov. Now, back in my time in Russia, I would make that dish at least twice a week because that was the one thing that I was really, really good at. And anytime I was with other missionaries and stuff, they would ask me to make that dish because I had done it so many times I had it down to an art. Thankfully, to the seasoning, which is kind of cheating in a way, I feel like, but oh well. We don't sell that seasoning in America, and I have checked foreign stores, I've checked international stores in America to try and find that seasoning. It is nowhere. And then I get to here, I'm in that little market store, and I see Maggi seasoning packets, not for plov, but for a bunch of other things. See, it's red right now. No one's walking. They just don't do that here, which is so interesting. Even the tourists, even the Asian group of tourists that usually do whatever the heck they feel like, are not walking. Oh, I really want to go to that castle in the distance. Let's see, now we're stopping, and can we go? Can we go, please? So now that I know that the Maggi seasoning packets are here, I have to find the ones for plov, and I have to buy like 50. Because that's the only time I'm going to be able to find them or get them. And why the crap did we get to walk? That's weird. So anyways, that's my current goal. Sorry, this has been a long video, but again, it's for my benefit in the end. Thanks so much.